Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to the Matchday 5 UCL Fantasy Tips show. As always, I will be going through my current team selection. I have made one of my transfers. I'll be giving you guys the best captain picks for this week and the predictions for all the matches this week. We only have like a couple of weeks to go before the Champions League group stage is over. Crucial stage. Some people already played the wildcard and their limitless chip. If you already have those two chips, you could gain some advantage. So this is a really crucial part of the season. There's a lot of injuries left, right, and center. Some teams already gone through. Some teams are still trying to finish fast. Some teams are still trying to get third on the table. So there is a lot to consider. So first up, let's start with the team selection for match day 5 and how my team is looking. So my goalkeeper is Adan, and I know Lunin is not going to play. Adan, I'm not even sure if he's going to come back in the Champions League and play, but that is my goalkeeper as of now. I've only made one transfer, so I still have one more in case we hear anything like Adan is not going to play. Then I can take him out and bring in another goalkeeper. But as you can see, I already had a lot of injuries. I already had, I'll tell you about the transfer, but so far, those are my goalkeepers. I'm still not sure about them. I know Lunin might not play, will not play definitely. Adan, I don't know if he's going to play, so you're going to wait and see what happens with that one. In terms of defense, I think I'm good to go. Cancelo up against Dortmund. I'm expecting Dortmund to score, but the thing with Cancelo is not all about getting clean sheets. He's already picked up like 4 assists this season in the Champions League, and the recovery points that he gets. Kostic up against Benfica. I'm not confident about Juventus in that match. I'm hoping for like a 0-0 or recovery points from him, or just like Cancelo, an assist. He's already scored this season as well, so I'm hoping he can get an attacking return if possible. I fancy Benfica in that game, to be fair. And then Guerrero up against Man City. It's a case of recovery points and also attacking returns too. So all the 3 defenders I have on the pitch at the moment, it's all about what they're going to do in terms of attacking, because I expect all of them to concede, to be fair. And then on the bench, I do have Alphonso Davies, who scored the goal the other day for Bayern Munich. He is back. He had a flag in terms of injury, yes, as recently as yesterday, but he is fit. He played last midweek for Bayern Munich, and he scored and assisted in the same game. So still a very good option. He has Barcelona next up. He is playing on the second day, so he will be coming on off my bench on the second day. And my other defender is Ronaldo as well, playing on the second day. Ronaldo playing against Leverkusen at home, Davies playing away at Barcelona. So I think for my defense, I'm good to go. All of them are fit, no changes, and the problems are not in defense. They're in midfield and forward positions because of the injuries and such stuff. In terms of my midfield, Sane is still in my team, but he has an injury at the moment. He did not play in the last game. I don't think we have to wait and see if he's going to be fit or is going to be picked for the Barcelona game. So for that, we are going to have to wait until like Tuesday morning to get the confirmation of how long he is out for, because this team is the same team I'm going to have for match day 6. So I have to really consider which players have a chance of returning in match day 6, and I can actually afford to keep them and keep them on the bench for one match day, because you don't really want to take off a player or take out a player and then the next match day starts and then you're left with another injured player who's not going to start next match day. That is the problem. One of the transfers I've made is Barella against Pilsen. Barella has been magnificent so far, especially in the last 4 games. He's been great in their league. He's scoring, assisting. In the Champions League, he scored against Barcelona, picked up player of the match as well in that game. He did not play in the first game, but last game very, very well. And I watched him yesterday for Inter Milan against Fiorentina. He was getting himself into some really good positions. And PSG and Inter Milan, I always look at their forward players and their fullbacks. I never ever look at their midfield, like the likes of Verratti at PSG, because I never really see them as consistent attacking threats. And the Inter Milan the same. But this time, I think we found Barella. I'm at 6.5 million. It's just I'm going for it. Luis Diaz was in my team. I had to take him off because he's out until next year. So I had to take him out. And I brought in Barella because I really need someone from that fixture, Inter Milan against Pils. And Kudus sticks in my team because he plays as a forward player, and they really need to win this game against Liverpool. Liverpool have been conceding goals this season, so I think that's a good fixture for Kudus. I think he can. Ajax will score. Valverde. We've talked about Valverde so much. Like, even what a goal he scored over the weekend against Sevilla. What a player. Always involved, always scoring. Absolutely amazing. So he sticks in my team as well. These players, one of them plays on the first day. Barella, Kudus, Sane all play on the next day. And we get to see Inter Milan's team news on the second day, so I get to see whether Barella is starting or not. And then the other midfielder I have is Musiala, who also scored recently. He recovered from COVID, obviously, like 10 days ago. He is back now up against Barcelona, so I think I will be keeping him for sure. Now, in the next match day, there will be a bit of trouble, especially if Bayern beat Barcelona and Inter Milan. Bayern beats Barcelona, there will be points. They will basically get top position, and I don't know how much they're going to rotate on the last day against Inter Milan. That is something to definitely keep an eye on. I'm not sure how much they're going to rotate. So for now, I am going to keep him in my team. Forward line, I have Mbappe. He will captain me on the first day up against Maccabi Haifa. I think even if you have Messi as well, very, very good option. If you have both of them, I think they're going to score a couple of goals that game. Haaland up against his former club. Definitely love that option. Definitely don't mind it. I do like that option up against Dortmund. And then Alvarez is the other problem. I'm not sure Alvarez will start against Dortmund, but I am going to keep him because he has the chance of starting in the last match day against Sevilla. If Man City beat Dortmund, they are through top of the table. So he will start in match day 6. And considering the fact that they don't have the limitless of the wild card, I have to also think about match day 6, and Alvarez has a good opportunity of starting that match day 6. So I've left him in my team because they do play in the first day. If he doesn't start, he actually has a chance of coming on and getting something. If he doesn't and picks up 1.0 points, then I will be bringing on someone like Musiala for him. The other thing is I have to keep him because I had Leroy Sané and Luis Diaz in my team, and Luis Diaz is out until next year, and Sané should be out. And obviously with him, the thing is the money. Both of them, I have to take out that money. Like, I can't have players on my team at 10 million, both of them not playing, when I can use that money elsewhere. So that is how my team is looking. One transfer made so far: Barella in for Luis Diaz. Sané will definitely come out as well. The players I'm thinking of, it definitely almost 70% certain is going to be a Napoli player, which I'm not sure. As I'm recording this, Napoli are playing. I'm about to play Roma, and players are playing like Zielinski in the squad. Osimhen is playing. Players like who else am I forgetting? Zielinski is playing. Kvaratskhelia is playing. So the likes of Lozano are not playing. So does that mean the likes of Lozano and Raspadori start against in midweek against which team are they playing? Rangers? Could be. So I'll have to think about that. I'll have to see all the predicted lineups and everything as we get close and see whether we are going to get any information from the Napoli camp. But that could be an option. Napoli midfielder. Another player I've thought about is Phil Foden, but I can't afford getting in another Man City player because I already have 3. But I have thought about Phil Foden. Didn't start for Man City. So if you're trying to get a Man City player, if you don't have Haaland or trying to go double up, I think Foden could be a good option this week as well. So that is how my team is looking like. I'm captaining Mbappe on the first day. You could go for Haaland if you prefer against Dortmund. If he blanks, hopefully doesn't, so that I don't have to have that headache of captaining someone on the second day. Probably will be the Napoli player that I bring on, or if Barella starts, I might take the gamble on him. But hopefully my strikers perform on the first day and I don't have to change my captain on the second day. So that is how it's looking. I can now give you guys the best captain picks from every game or every day. In terms of the Tuesday games, I think Leipzig have just conceded 3 goals against Augsburg, so I still think Vinicius is a good option. He got 2 assists against Sevilla, so I do think he's still a good option up against Leipzig. On the first day, you can go for him. I think Haaland is definitely a good option against Dortmund. Mbappe, Messi against Maccabi Haifa could be options on the first day. And on the first day is the day you can take a lot of risks if you prefer, because you can change it on the second day if you have good options on the second day. If you're trying to go risky on the first day, you could go for Phil Foden against Dortmund if you prefer. You could go for a defender from PSG like a Hakimi or someone like that if you prefer. I wouldn't go that direction of captaining a defender though. You could go for Cancelo. It's a very good option. He usually picks up, like so far, I think he already picked up like more than 10 points at least 3 or 4 times in all competitions. So he has those kind of games. I would try and avoid Chelsea and the likes of Sevilla. So those are the teams I'd really be looking at. On Wednesday, Inter Milan game, if you have Lautaro Martinez, I've thought about bring him in instead of Julian Alvarez. I actually have the money for doing that, but the problem is, as I said, I'm thinking about the next match day. I can't afford to bring on Lautaro Martinez because he's paying Pilsen, so I might end up doing that. But if I do that, that means I go without a Napoli midfielder, and they're playing against Rangers. So that is the thing. So Inter Milan players, you can go for Lautaro Martinez up against Pilsen if you have him. Dumfries, if he starts against Pilsen, very good option. Last time against Pilsen, I think some of you captained him. He got like 12, 13 points in that one. If you trust Salah against Ajax, you can go for him. Napoli players, as I said, you can trust them. Tottenham Sporting, I don't know. I don't really trust Tottenham, not because I'm an Arsenal fan, no, because we just watched their game against Newcastle. Yes, Kane scores every single day, so he could be an option against Sporting. Harry Kane could definitely be an option. Bayern Munich, Barcelona, I think Lewandowski will score. I'm thinking like 3-2 or 2-2 in that one, so the likes of Mane and Lewandowski could still be options. So those are the curtain picks. I forgot to say, if in case you're feeling a bit brave on the second day, which I wouldn't really do that, then you can go for a Tottenham player, or you can consider a defender from Marseille, like a Tavares or someone like that, but I wouldn't really go that direction. I'd stick with the Inter Milan players against Pilsen, or Man City players against Dortmund on the first day. Even Bellingham is not a bad option, really up to you. So that is the team selection and the captaincy picks for match day 5. Next up, let's get to the match day 5 predictions. Maybe they will help you make your decision. So here we have it, match day 5 predictions. Let's get started. So Sevilla is the first game against Copenhagen. I'm not really impressed with Sevilla this season at all. They're looking very shaky. They've changed their manager already. Last time against Copenhagen, they drew 0-0. And I think it's going to be a very tight game. I can see Sevilla scoring late on. So I'm actually going to go for a 1-0 to Sevilla. Slightly boring game there. So if you prefer Sevilla defenders, you can go for it. In terms of Chelsea, Salzburg, I am going to go for Chelsea win, but a very tight one. Salzburg 1, Chelsea 2. In terms of Benfica against Juventus, as I said, I don't really trust Juventus as well. So I am going to go for Benfica to beat them by 2-1. Although Juventus did win the other day by 4-0. In terms of PSG, Maccabi Haifa, I am going to go for 4-0 PSG. I think they'll wrap up the group this week. Dortmund up against, if Benfica beat Juventus, PSG are still not yet wrapped up the group. Dortmund against Man City, I'm going to go for Man City win. The last time they won 2-1, scoring late on, but this time I'm going to go for a really exciting game. Dortmund 2, Manchester City 3, and Man City. That means Man City will clinch the group. I think the likes of Foden are fresh. Haaland starts this time, didn't start in the last game, so that's interesting. Leipzig just conceded 3 goals against Augsburg. Real just put 3 past Sevilla as well. I'm thinking both teams will score, but I'm thinking Real Madrid will run away with it, and I'm going to go for 3-1 Real Madrid. Celtic against Shakhtar, I am going to go for Celtic have been a bit poor this season, so I'm going to go for Shakhtar to win. In the Champions League. So Shakhtar to win 2-1 there. Dinamo Zagreb, AC Milan, I'm going to go for AC Milan to win by 2-1. Inter Milan, Pilsen 3-0. So we're definitely looking at their defenders and forward players. I have gone for Barella for that reason. Club Brugge, FC Porto, Club Brugge have looked pretty good this season. They've gone through, and I think they'll keep their good run going. They won't win, but they'll pick up a point. So 1-1 there. Frankfurt against Marseille. I am Frankfurt won 1-0 last time out. I am going to go for another 1-1 draw there. Tottenham Sporting. I know, as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Tottenham. I think they will win here, but I think they will concede. So 2-1 to Tottenham. Bayern Munich against Barcelona. I'm going to go for match of the week here. I'm going to go for Barcelona 3, Bayern Munich match of the week. Atletico Madrid against Leverkusen. Barcelona have to go for it, and Bayern have already gone through, so it's going to be an open game. Atletico Madrid, Leverkusen. Surely Atletico Madrid will win a game somewhere. Surely they'll win a game, so they won't finish the entire group stage without winning a game. So I'm going to go for them to win this one by 2-1. Next up, Liverpool, Ajax. Liverpool won 2-1 last time. This time I'm actually going to go for a 2-2 draw, Ajax 2, Liverpool 2. I think it won't really affect Liverpool as long as they don't lose against Napoli in the final match day. Speaking of Napoli, the team that I'm watching right now, Napoli against Rangers. Rangers have been awful this season. I think Napoli will win, but this time I think Rangers will score. So I'm going to go for 3-1 to Napoli. So those are my predictions for match day 5. Sevilla to beat Copenhagen by 1-0. Chelsea to win as well. Benfica to win by the same scoreline. Big win for PSG. Man City to win against Dortmund. That would be a huge win for them. Real Madrid and Shakhtar to win in that group. AC Milan to win as well 2-1. And then on Wednesday, Inter Milan to get a comfortable win against Pilsen, Club Brugge to draw with Porto, same scoreline with Frankfurt and Marseille, Tottenham to beat Sporting 2-1 in a tight game, Bayern Munich and Barcelona to have a match of the week, 3-3 Barcelona at home against Bayern Munich, and then Atletico Madrid to pick up their first win in the group 2-1, Liverpool to draw with Ajax 2-2, and then Napoli to keep on their good run with 15 points out of 15 with a 3-1 win against Rangers. So those are my predictions. That is the Match Day 5 fantasy UCL fantasy tip show.